You know what time it is, Timothy? It's time to look at the wrinkly old men. That's right. Hello there, and welcome to our Grand Campaign 2023. That's right, you made it another year. Have yourself a pat on the back. Did you do it? Let's get back to work. So if you're not familiar with what a Grand Campaign is, it's where I play a single save game from Crusader Kings 3 into EU 4, into Victoria 2, and then we end it off in Hearts of Iron 4. And if you're wondering how this is done, don't worry, I will leave links down below to the mod developers that create all the tools to allow you to carry your save game on throughout all these games. All the converters will be linked down below, and as usual, I want to say a big thank you to them to actually making this whole thing possible. So yes, make sure you go check out all the mods down below if you too want to do a Paradox Grand Campaign. But before we get into anything, the rat may have returned in the form of this limited edition poster. Wowzers. What better way to get you in the holiday spirit than rampant commercialism? Look at that. It's every character from the Grand Campaigns from the start. We've got ourselves the Rat Boys right there. There he is, looking great. Trust me, he's most certainly still alive. Wink. You've got Pepe, you've got Shang, and you've got yourself the Viking the Cud. This limited edition poster will only be available until January, and then it will be gone. So commemorate our amazing time every year by getting yourself the worst family photo on your wall. Hey, just look at Pepe's giant French face. Would you not want to wake up to that thing every morning? I know I sure would. So if you'd like to get yourself the Grand Campaign family photo, get it down below with the link in the description, and it will only be available until January. And thank you to everyone that will buy one. Your help is very much appreciated. I need to pay for therapy. But anyway, enough holiday capitalism. Let's get into the Grand Campaign finally. Okay, so for this year's Grand Campaign, I'm starting in the 1066 start date for good reason. You see, I've got a character that's got grand ambitions for a very grand campaign, because over here in Athens lives a man who's had enough. Not this guy though, although cool little chin beard thing going on. Let me go ahead and introduce you to our character today. It's Roman. The Roman? You see, unearthed in a cave, frozen for 1,000 years, the last Roman has arisen. And as you can tell from his eyes, he is very shocked to see what his empire has turned into. Oh yeah, you see, for my inspiration today, I actually tried to make him look what I think the average Roman probably looked like. And I don't think I've done too bad of a job. Okay, well, we are getting into like blow up the whole territory here. I think we should probably leave it off here. Yeah, you see, that's the look of a man right now who's trying to process the information that the Roman Empire is now Greek and yet also somehow German. Okay, so you're telling me that somehow the Greeks, who were walking at us very slowly with very long sticks, are now Roman. Even more perplexing that the savages from Germany, who wore trousers, are also now Roman. Okay, so our quest is going to be pretty simple. First off, I'm not too sure about this whole Byzantine Empire thing. Not only is it lost a whole bunch of cool Roman land, it's also in the process right now of losing even more. And then on the flip side, in the old capital, there's a big bearded barbarian. It is just not going to do. So I propose, as the last proper Roman sitting around, unless there's another one that I don't know about, that first off we blow up the Byzantine Empire and then we get to work on the Holy Roman one. So I think first off we need to educate these Greeks on exactly what being Roman's all about. Also because all of our vassals and everyone in our court is not Roman, and that apparently ticks them off quite a bit because they hate me. Although I guess in all fairness, I did come out of a cave and immediately start nitpicking their entire lifestyle. Married someone, but my bishop immediately made me divorce her. Then I got this new one and she got pregnant very quickly. Good powerful loins there, Roman. Douse have been blessed by Ceres. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I meant power to Christ. Oh, it's a woman, and she kind of also looks like a frog. Okay, well, A good Roman name. Messalina. That'll do. Okay, we just got very lucky there. We just got all of Achu. Which we are going to press very quickly because they don't have a lot of troops. But they do have an alliance and he has a lot of troops. We might need to make a friend here. Gosh, I had another daughter too. Okay, well, you know what? This was actually good because we can get more Romans out there. More importantly, more alliances too, so we can get a bit of conquering going. Should we take the risk here? We do have allies and more troops, but will they get here in time? Oh, it did not matter at all. We just absolutely destroyed them there. Let's get the siege done and we're gonna get ourselves a whole new duchy. Oh, we finally got a son and he's called Octavius, and you know, if the head that big, he's definitely an Octavius, so we're gonna stay with that. Hey, so after getting our other duchy of we can go ahead and make our kingdom title. Now, whilst we will be hanging out in the kingdom down here for a while, I do think we'll probably, we won't stick exactly with the kingdom of Hellas. Yes, but I am now despot Roman of Hellas, where I will continue my plans for Roman domination. Okay, so we have grown our new Roman kingdom quite a bit. But that does not mean that I am happy. In fact, I'm not happy at all, which is why I've started a dissolution faction against this whole purple thing. So that when the time is right, we will strike and hopefully dissolve the whole thing, and then we can move on to our next enemy over here. Or I think it may just be time to push our little dissolution faction. Oh, we got someone else in here too. The county of Pomorge. Well, that's all I need. And to war it goes. Okay, so it's all gonna come down to this banner. We've already sieged it down because they were dealing with another revolt, and we have secured an alliance with the French by pawning off one of our offspring. So, will this work? Oh yeah. She absolutely destroyed them. Well, there goes the Byzantine Empire. Job complete. Now, it is sad to see such a prestigious quote-unquote empire collapse, but don't worry, the Romans ain't going nowhere. In fact, we're only getting stronger. And our culture is still spreading nice and far, but we're not done there. We really need to go ahead and move on to our next target. Also, our conquests and goals have gone pretty well, actually. Roman is getting a little bit old. This one's got an interesting nickname there too. Now, we did have quite a few offspring here, some of which are interesting to look at. So our lineage of Roman ancestry is definitely going to be secured. We want to make sure that the realm will be left securely once Roman falls down the stairs drunk. Alright, next up we are coming back home. It's been a little while since we were last here, but this will be our home base for our next step of the operation. Alright, this one is gonna be a little bit tricky. Problem with Rome is, it seems to be filled with loads of old musty men at the moment, and I need to get my old musty smell on it instead. As the man was at the gates of Rome, he took his last breath and ushered in a new era of Octavius. And Octavius does live in a gigantic chateau, not just from his father's giant jaw. And we have gone ahead and inherited our father's war against the Pope, which we want to have a good rule. We should definitely make sure that we win this. Okay, it does seem like me and the Pope have kind of done the same thing here, huh? We have already given ourselves an heir, and it is Roman. Definitely a fitting name for the very smart boy he'll become. Okay, we have won our war with the Pope, but as that had happened, someone else has declared war on us. We're gonna go have to head and turn our attention back over to Greece, and also we got a lot of interesting stuff happening. Okay, other war dealt with. Now let's get to a bit of realm stabilization. And most importantly, we're going to go ahead and move the capital back into Rome, even if that old man smell still has not left. Octavius' rule has not been too kind to him. At the age of 56, he's decided to pretty much give in. Now, we do have our next step of the plan, but I don't think we'll be doing it as Octavius, as like most Roman leaders, he's decided to go down a different path in life physical death. So instead, he's just going to sit comfortably in Rome, you know, do a little bit of building here and there, and then eventually pass away of death. Interestingly enough, even though you appear to be on the way out, you have lived the same age of your father, and it looks like you're going to be living longer than him, but to be fair, he did live the last half of his life there as a one-legged drunk. Roman had a lot to celebrate, I guess. Okay, once again, before this guy kicks the bucket, we are going to go ahead and take a bit more land off the Pope. Oh. And yep, I picked the right time to do it, as he's about to die. I literally timed that perfectly, as that is all she wrote for Octavius. Well, our father Octavius wasn't exactly as great as Roman was, but he did get quite a bit done. But then he just sort of sat around and died of depression. Now, we've gone ahead and left the majority of our lands over here to our brothers to administer. We're going to focus now on what the original plan was, which is getting friendly with the Holy Roman Empire. Yep, out of one empire and into another. It's definitely safe to say that this is a bit of a administrative nightmare, huh? Okay, so if I want to bring down the Holy Roman Empire, I'm going to have to infiltrate it a bit more than just being inside of it. No, we need to get land over there. When our liege is sat right in the middle of this destitute empire, quote unquote, we need to go ahead and make ourselves very cozy with him indeed, which we can't do all the way down here in Rome. So I have justified myself a claim on Vienna, which should be in my hand surely, as I'm a grown man and currently it's being ruled by a little girl. So let's go have a chat about that with him, shall we? Oh, he actually accepted. You know what? I was fully expecting him to say no then. I was going to go to war with the small child. Oh, yeah, that's right. Roman II, is actually a local hero for not beating up a small child. But there we go. We've secured ourselves a bit of German territory. Oh, the small child is very angry with me now. Right. Would it make you feel better, Agnes, if I invited you to my feast as the honorary guest? Oh, it appears I've given you the spoiled eggs, Duchess Agnes. My bad. How did that happen? Yeah, that really didn't seem to do much for our relationship, did it? Hey, well, once again, my liege, I am asking you for a bit more land off an angry child. It's like taking titles from a baby. I guess because in a way it is. We're just gonna keep doing this until we get all of the land that we want down here in Austria. Oh, well, kind of out of nowhere, Roman II has bit the bullet. He died in his sleep, which, yeah, considering his nickname is the Good as well, and all we did was bully a child all game, I'm not too sure about that one. Hey, but now we have Roman III, who smells like a bog. Okay, Roman II dying has been a blessing because we've modified our feudal contract now so we can go ahead and declare war and we don't have to keep turning up to this old man's court every now and then and begging him for land. Sorry, no longer child in Austria. It's a bit of a family tradition for me to ruin your life. Now that we've taken that province, we're going to go usurp the entire Duchy of Austria, which will be our hub now for taking down this old menace. Look at him. That nose is very red. Because nobody's really ever going to vote for me in this whole HRE election thing, we can't really just usurp our way through it. So we're going to go back to the thing that worked best. Blowing it up. Yeah, now, how we're going to do that, though, is going to be a little bit complicated, because this guy does have a bit of a competent army, and I don't exactly have plenty of allies to back me up here. Whilst we wait for an opportune time to take down this empire, we are just slowly chipping away at land while nobody seems to mind. Okay, so we have gotten quite a lot of land and quite a bit of power down here in Germany, and I think it is finally time for us to press the claim of dissolving this abomination. Oh, also, if you think this is the same king as Roman III, it's not. He just looks exactly the same. This is Valens. This is Roman. So Valens has gone ahead and declared himself King of Bavaria, and our unwitting liege has given us all the land in said kingdom, which would not really be a smart thing, but he's also 9 years old, so there you go. It is finally time for us to press our demands and say that the HRE be no longer a thing. Oh. He just accepted. Alas, for centuries our bloodline has declared that this empire will burn. And it did burn. In fact, we burnt 2 of them to the damn ground. Finally, a true successor to Rome has been born. Albeit, it's a little bit complicated because we've actually got kind of comfy over here in Germany. Now, whilst we have got a vast empire that spans from Greece to Italy and into Germany now, it's a little bit disorganized, a little bit overburdened, and I think we may have to consolidate it just a little bit down. Oh, Rex Valens, just like every Roman leader, has been murdered by an unknown assailant, which in turn has split our kingdom in 2 now between Hellas and Rome up here, but I do think that is probably for the best. But with the kingdom divided like this, I think it's probably best we move our capital away from the very isolated Rome over there to our new homeland over here. Oh, it seems my brother over in Greece has really got friendly with the Greeks straight away again. Hey, you know what? I ain't coming back to sort that out, alright? At least you're kind of embracing what I laid down there for you. So ever since the collapse of the Holy Roman Empire, there's been a bit of a land grab going on for all the territory, so I need to get myself involved. Now, there's still a few states left for grabbing here, but I think it would just make more sense if I land grabbed off the people who are land grabbing. There you go, wasn't too difficult at all. Now, whilst our kingdom is doing very well for itself, I have to say I have heard rumblings that something out east is a brewing. News is getting to us very slowly. But our dutiful leader, Rex Romanus of Rome, a lot of R's in there, is seeing to it that that shan't be a problem, because we will simply ignore it and go back to building ourselves back up to an empire. Plus, you know, I'm sure if they do get any further over here, my brother's got it covered. Mostly because he's so large now, they won't be able to get around him. Okie dokie, now let's make the Kingdom of Bohemia disappear. And Germany's turn into 10 billion different states again. Oh, yeah. They're getting very close. Hold on. Why did the Pope switch sides? You see, this is why I burned down Rome. Yeah, okay, so we're just straight up bordering now, I guess. Would you like to get me into potentially? Man, if only there was like some empire that could have stood in the way from this of happening, huh? Boys, in the great German land grab, we've ended up at war with the French, who have gained themselves a lot of land, and I think they should share. But with the help of my family, my brother down in Greece, and also Scotland, which I can't even remember how this happened or when this happened, but my cousin leads Scotland, and he's created the Roman Scone. Yeah, I don't know. I must have sent someone over there to get married at some point, and they ended up in control. So Scotland is my #1 friend, other than, you know, my brother. But yeah, he's doing all right down there. And together we are beating up the French for land in Germany, and we actually have already won. Okay, well, thank you very much. So we are expanding quite rapidly here, and it is a bit untenable, and I don't think we'll be able to hold on to a lot of this land. But the problem is we did create a giant power vacuum that other powers are sweeping into from every direction. Even the Mongolians are turning up now. In order to deal with that, I'm gonna have to get larger. I don't think I have to worry about the French anymore. Someone just dissolved them. Okay, I do promise though, that was not me. I know I have a bit of history for it, but that wasn't me. Okay, now with all the land we have taken and the fact we're just another bastardized German Empire, it's time to declare ourselves Emperor of Rome. Rome reigns supreme once more, everybody. Although, in all fairness, this time, it is actually Roman. Look, you can tell, because it says Roman there on the map. I feared has finally come. The Mongol Empire has arrived to claim my booty. Actually, a female Khan, too, so she's doubly after my booty. Alright, I'll be calling in everybody that I can that that is willing to join me in this death war. The banners have been called, and Romans all throughout the realm and all the other Roman realms out there are uniting to try and give me a helping hand here. Just found the Mongolian army there. Boys, we've gathered all the troops and we're going in for a battle. Okay, it's being a very, very costly battle, but I think, yep, we have managed to do it. Oh, there you go. One son out, another one in. Oh, there you go. And that decisive battle has kicked them out. But they're not gone. I can tell you that much. But I will be taking that 4.3k. Okay, whilst we're at it as well, we're going to go ahead and take the rest of Hungary before they get their hands on it. She just ate my brother alive. And I'm going to take that one very personally. I've captured the Mongol war banner. That is staying with me. And another very costly war. I just lost a lot more of my sons there, but my brother is back alive somewhere. No, my brother did not make it. My nephew will be taking up his title instead, though. We're going to hope that he holds on a bit better than his other family members. I was murdered. Well, this is certainly not the son I wanted in charge, but unfortunately, the one I did passed away non-willingly in battle. Okay, well, Valens is not going to be lasting very long. He's already on the way out. Oh! But this guy! Oh, we are in a very, very bad period of Rome history right now. In fact, it's getting a bit too historical. Yeah, we just actually got assassinated again. So, I don't know who got him this time, but Imperator Romanus II, he did not live too long. But now we are Imperator Leonidas, and I kind of get the feeling that he might have been behind it. Never mind. But he did kill the original guy. Okay, the Rome LARP is just, it's getting too complicated. It's too real. Either way, assassinations or not, he has made his way to the throne as Emperor of Rome. And I gotta make sure that no one else is getting taken out here. Okay, yep, it's already happening again. But I think it might be the leader of the Mongol horde that's actually trying to take me down, considering I am her rival. It's the only thing I can think of, but we're just gonna hope that this works and I get her before she gets me. Get this, we're about to find out if this disappears immediately, if she was the one trying to get me. We did not even get her. I'm gonna die. My spy master finally put 2 and 2 together and realized it was her that was trying to kill me. I don't think it really matters, as I've now become a lunatic from probably the paranoia. Hey, I got her, and upon her death, her empire exploded. There is only one way to celebrate this, and that's by jumping off the roof. Yeah, I don't think he's too recoverable at this point, I'll be real with you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take on his son. 2 assassinated emperors later, and then 1 lunatic emperor. Hopefully, we can have ourselves a bit of stability in this realm. Oh, the year is 1309, and I think Rome is now finally in a stable place under Imperator Leonidas II. A brief period of massive instability where everyone kept assassinating each other and, you know, the whole Mongol invasions, but that seemed to have cooled off now, so I think we are fine. Okay, like 5 minutes after I just said that, I was just murdered again. Rome's still not in a very stable place. Truly giving Rome a run for its money in this one, but here is the world at the end. If you can't tell, it's very messy. Very interesting things to point out, though, is we do have Britannia. That is an empire attack, but it is also falling apart. Gotta give it that. We got Lyon, which owns a whole bunch of northern Italy and France over here. And then the elephant in the room is the Chagatai. Yeah, that's a problem for another day. Roman kingdoms are still alive back here, although they have split into Epirus and Hellas, which I'm sure they might get up to something, or they might just get conquered in EU4. Jerusalem is also here, and kind of scary thinking about it. But yes, that was our great dynasty of Roman the Roman, where we came from. We came all the way from Roman and his absolutely horrendously looking jaw of splendor and virtue. And somehow we've made it all the way down here to Imperator Antonius and his very, very turbulent line of assassinations before him. I mean, oh, this guy assassinated. Assassinated. Okay, it's definitely interesting to see how this will translate into EU4. I do have a plan, but as you can probably tell, we are very much going to be situated in Germany for this game. But yes, if you enjoyed this first part of the Grand Campaign 2023, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like down below. And also, get yourself a poster. Look at them. They're on screen right now. You can click the link down below and get yourself one before they're gone around the start of January. And again, thank you to all the mod developers that make the converters. I'll leave all of those linked down below as well if you want to check them out and do your own Grand Campaign. But yes, thank you very much, Timmies, for another great year of making these fun little videos. And let's continue this straight into EU4, where I think we're in for a bit of a Royal Rumble. Okay, so this is... the Blob. So having destroyed all the other claimants of Rome, it's back, better than ever, in a Regency Council, because all our leaders kept dying. Also, a little weird thing with the converter is the Roman culture is now Germanic, obviously, but it's so Germanic and Roman at the same time, it kind of overtook what Germanic even is. So the Roman culture and the Germanic culture, quote unquote, are both the same, but it doesn't actually put us in the same culture group as the Greco-Romans. So, yeah, kind of weird. Hey, but either way, Germanic, Roman, it's all the same. We're now situated in Germany more than Rome anyway. We also don't really have a banner or a flag. That didn't translate over, but also I just kind of like the blank color. I think it kind of suits us, really. So right there, slap in the middle of Europe is Rome. To our left is Britannia, which has a lot of puppets, and then to the right of us is the Chagatai. I really hope they don't stick around, because they're absolutely disgustingly huge and have a ton of development. A few other interesting things is we obviously have Jerusalem down here. Hellas and Epirus are both Roman kingdoms, and I guess Achaia as well, but I think, yep, they are a puppet of Hellas, so things are still very Roman looking down there, even if we don't really want them to be. And Leon just can't really be bothered with the whole Reconquista thing, and decided to just take over Italy, because yeah, for some reason Aragon is now here, and yeah, they did not get too far with that whole Reconquista rig. But anyway, it's time to get in, and hopefully nobody kills 15 of my leaders this time. So things in Rome aren't too bad. We got a lot of soldiers, a lot of money. Yeah, we're making some money. And we're still hanging on to Rome, which actually has a ton of development in it, because the converters actually do convert the development over from CK3, which is also why you're going to be seeing a lot of red like over here in Russia, where things didn't get too developed. But there are a few provinces that do stick out, but yeah, Rome's the greenest one around. Yeah, either way, even though we do control Rome, I don't plan on expanding any more into Italy, because even now, I cannot get that old man smell out of it. Instead, I think we'll be focusing on Germany a lot more. We have a whole bunch of claims, because we did form the Kingdom of Germany, and we definitely need to make sure we fulfill all of them. And I think our main competitor today is definitely going to be Britannia. They're going to be a pain in my behind, I can tell you that much. So the little child that overtook his father, who was assassinated like all his fathers before him, has come into power, and we now have Emperor Antonius Roman. Actually, a very good leader too. And our first decree is right of conquest on the rest of these barbarians. Hey, so a couple things. I have a flag now. Also, I noticed that Leon, who has actually gone about doing a bit of conquesting down in Iberia, is supporting the independence of France. So I did it too, and now I'm at war with Great Britain. And I was plopping France back into the war isn't great since we did go to war with them a whole bunch of times before. It's mostly because Britain still owns a whole bunch of German land over here that I want to get them a bit weaker on the continent. Hey, there we go. We won quite easily on that one, and I even got some of the British land up here, so I'd consider that a win. I'm not sure how France is going to do after that, but we'll see. Also, I didn't realize that Leon got pieced out, and Britain now owns land down there. They're not taking their defeat on the continent too well, taking it out on poor old Scotland, who I do want to say are still technically in our dynasty, but because it's a split off one, it sadly doesn't actually count in EU4, which makes me sad that the Roman scones will be probably dead soon. Oh well, we have switched emperors once again, and we now have Andronikos, the first of Roman, and he's not exactly as great as the one before him, but sure, I'm hoping his dad didn't get assassinated. Okay, so I need to take out Denmark, who have unfortunately got a huge Pomeranian puppet down here, if you didn't realize, and I'm gonna have to assemble the squad to do it because that's a lot of troops they have. Why? But every single war that I have, anyone that I'm at war with always seems to go all the way down to Rome and personally sack it. I don't know why. I'm not too sure why Pomerania felt the need, but I guess they did. Oh wait, sorry, I read that completely wrong. Denmark is actually the vassal under Pomerania. I could have thought I thought it was the other way around, but I guess it kind of got messed up in the converter or something. Either way, doesn't matter. They're both combined together, so it's best to get land off them while we can. Alright, this is definitely going to give us a little bit of a coalition here. Nothing too crazy though, and oh my god, we're going to be taking a bit of gold too, which is great. I also did give Sweden some land because I had to call them in for that, and I don't want to lose them as an ally just yet. But securing Germania proper is definitely my goal, and as you can see, we are making steady progress. We still will have to deal with the British again at some point because, as you can see, they are still expanding over here too. Ooh. Taking a look what's happening on my border there. Pomerania is getting invaded by Chagatai, who, yeah, they're only getting stronger, by the way. Oh, yeah. I think I might have to look east at some point. The UK is at war with Spain again, or at least everyone in Spain, so I think now might be the time for us to strike, as they have secured all of the lowlands over here, and I think that's kind of cringe. I only now just realized that the British capital is in Leinster. Which, funnily enough, is the one place they don't even have the culture accepted, because it's Hiberno-Norse. Okay, so that was a long war, mostly just waiting for them to give up, but there you go. We've taken this land off of them, which is really hard to tell as we are both red. Oh, there you go. So colonialism has spawned. Now, I have no interest at all in doing any colonizing whatsoever this game, because it always tends to be the same thing we're doing, so I'm just gonna stick to being a mainland power, at least until into Vicky 2. That's interesting. We've got a bit of a pretender state down here, the Roman Empire, that I think actually popped out of Hellas. They just got beat up by Anatolia pretty badly. You know what? That's kind of cool. I'm just gonna leave them alone and see what happens to them. Yeah, I know, like, we destroyed all the other Roman empires, but this one's so small and pathetic, I think we're just gonna see where it goes. I don't think it even has, it only has claims on Rome. And my capital. Oh yeah, also the Protestant Reformation just hasn't happened, so we're still in the age of discovery. I'm not sure if it will pop, but we'll see, I guess. Oh, Croatia is trying to take down Epirus. And I'm going to be real with you, I should probably deal with Croatia at some point, as they are getting rather large on the border. And there you go, with our newfound conquest from Croatia, I've re-released Hungary into the world as a bit of a buffer state from us and the East, and they're being led by monarch name Laszlo I of Ziki. Sorry, Duke monarch name Laszlo I of Ziki. Oh wait, sorry, Duke monarch underscore name underscore Laszlo I of Ziki. Oh, the old Greco-Roman states ain't doing too well. They're starting to look a little bit holy down here. Oh, you know what they say, out with the old, in with the new. My best friend has just been born. Speaking of which, it's time for our annual death war with the British. Well, actually wasn't too much of a death war. The British are too scared to come have a little fight with us on the continent. So old Protestant Reformation hadn't spawned yet, so I did it with a command, just so we can move past the Age of Discovery in 1572, and yeah, it spawned in the Pope, so... Oh yeah, also my alliance with Jerusalem lasted like a whole of 2 seconds, because I'm allied with Italy, and they just declared war on someone down here that they were allied to, so oopsie. So I have gone ahead and I've released the Dutch, mostly so we can get a few more easy calls off the British when we do get to war with them, and because I don't have to worry about it afterwards. And it's not like we don't have a lot of land, but yeah, just looking around anyway in general right now, Andalusia's huge, Leon is still doing okay, Italy's actually very powerful, and Anatolia is also coming together. The Byzantines are reuniting. Not too sure what the Chagatai has been up to, but they are still just unhumanly huge. And as for the New World, everyone's just kind of been too busy beating each other up to really get much done. But Andalusia is in North America, the British are in the Caribbean, and Leon has arrived in South America and... oh, sorry, Britannic Brazil. Oh, it happened. We've made it out of the Age of Discovery in 1582. Sadly, the Age of Reformation isn't really valid to me. I'm Orthodox. Yeah, just a Pope thing at the moment. No one else has flipped. The owners told me about New World Diamonds, which... hold on a sec, do I get 2,000 ducats from that? No, they just got 2,000 ducats. Can I take a loan, please? Oh, once again, we're going back to slap the British about, this time liberating Dutch people. Yeah, it's kind of weird thing to say out loud now I think about it. Once again, our wars with the British have turned out exactly like you'd imagine them. They're too scared to come off their island, and all of their allies are getting sieged down. Oh, it finally happened. My ally Sweden is going to war with Bajamaland, and that has called us into a war against Chagatai. Not 100% sure what I have to offer here. It does look like they are mostly focusing on Sweden, which they should, because they started the war. Don't forget that. Great Sultan Yang Diao. That one of the worst places to be fighting, by the way. It's such a open front that you just see nothing, and then out of nowhere comes like the Doom Stack from Mongolia. Oh, okay, that was a bit of a decisive one right there. I think we just knocked out pretty much both their armies, so hopefully Sweden can hurry up and get sieging so we can end this damn thing. Oh, there you go. That was a lot of casualties on both sides. Thankfully, not all mine though. I don't even know if they took anything then, or if they did, if it was worth it, because it was definitely not worth it for me. Although saying that, keeping both Sweden, France, and Italy powerful is the best thing I have, because I don't have any boats, more or less the capability to build as many boats as Britain, who I'm mainly going at war with all of the time. Okay, boys, that time of the century, truce is up with Great Britain, which means we're going straight back in. Considering how much land they did have over here on the continent, we have whittled it down quite a lot. After I take the rest of the lowlands, I don't think I'll care too much about France's stuff, because France is already quite powerful, and they are doing a lot of colonizing over here, I've noticed. Oh, it doesn't seem like much has been going on in Asia. We do have a unified Japan and Korea, but China does look like it's about to explode, actually, now I'm looking at it. But I'll say our economy is not looking bad, although it really shouldn't be looking bad considering how much land I own here. And I do kind of wish that Leon would pick an area and stick to it, though. They still own southern France and a whole bunch of land over here. They haven't made a move anywhere in Iberia. I guess it's time we gave them a little push in the right direction. Oh, so now we just have a self-contained Leon Western Europe here that we can chip away with, just like we did the British. Oh, yeah, things ain't looking too good for China. The worst part is, I think this is just going to make Chagatai even more powerful. Yeah, we're definitely getting to the point of the game right now where the stupid money starts coming in, considering I'm about to get 6.9k, 6.3k off the Chagatai just to piece them out in my war against Galicia. You know, I didn't even want too much land off Galicia in the first place, but yeah, sure. I didn't even get the full 6.3k. Not sure if it went between me and my allies, or if they're just broke. It could be either or. That's great. Manufactories just spawned down in Persia, which isn't that surprising considering the tech map of the world. Yeah, here's something. I haven't even looked at the Great Powers list this entire time. and that's probably because I've not been too relevant on it by the looks of things. I mean, I have so much development. I don't actually know how they're overtaking me here. What? How are they doing this? Oh, maybe it's because they've embraced the institution and I have not, because, you know, it didn't spawn anywhere near me. Although I do have tons of manufacturing, so it is slowly appearing, and then I will embrace it and be #1 great power, hopefully. Okay, I've embraced a new stupid institution. I should be great power. Should have been overtaken by France. I am literally the reason you're on the map. Yeah, I was also at war with Andalusia and took a bunch of their lands and stuff, but I was going to give it to the Roman Empire so they had more than a province, but they they don't want it. Yeah, I think we're at the time now where Chagatai, well, it won't be doing too well from here on out by looks things. Yeah, I would even needed to give them a lick of help there. Our friendly Scandinavian neighbors are taking them down. So with all the land I got in southern Italy and Corsica and Sardinia, I've just given it over to Hellas because they'll accept it, and they are still Roman. They've got King Octavius III of Roman Vaden. Just ignore that last part. And they are still Greco-Roman, albeit I don't think they even own any Greco-Roman provinces. Well, no, they don't. For whatever reason, the Greco-Roman culture is actually with the Italian culture, though. So I guess they do technically own some, in a way. So France has finally gone ahead and broke their alliance with me, even though we've been best of buds since the start of the game, because the AI has decided that they want 3 of my provinces. Wow. So I've gotten back at them, and I'm supporting their colony's independence in America, so hopefully they declare it. Okay, we have reached the 1700s and are pretty much getting towards the end of our game in EU4 now, and once again, the Chagatai are getting beaten up. Considering how scary they were at the start, they're definitely no longer scary anymore. They're actually losing to India over here. India's sieging them out over here, but Kasala's here. How did you get over there? Okay, who are we to question the smarty pantsness of the EU4 AI? Now, as for all the colonialism, Australia, very French. Africa, kind of British, but also getting sieged down by Andalusia. South America, looking a bit of a mix there. A lot of British, a lot of Andalusia, and also Cuba. Yeah, that's because Cuba broke free of the UK at some point. I don't really pay attention because I have no reason to look over here, unsurprisingly. But the big one, French America. Huge. Oh yeah, and also Muslim. I think France took land off of Andalusia over here, and then their colony flipped to Sunny. So Muslim in America, I guess. Although, remember, I am supporting their independence, and I do hope that they actually declare war on the French, because that's what I've been kind of waiting for over in Europe. Oh, well, speaking of which, there we go. Just as I was building my forts, actually, a bit annoying. E4 AI is one of the worst in all Paradox games, because why the hell is France walking through a neutral nation just to siege out over here when their homeland looks like this? There they go again, just walking straight back through Italy. So, Paris is getting sieged down, or it is no bother. We will walk back and forth in the Alps and they shall get bored. Yeah, by the way, the Enlightenment did spawn, but it spawned in India, which, you know what, actually, not that crazy to think about, honestly, but anyway, we don't have it over here. Yeah, Rome, unsurprisingly, not very enlightened, especially considering we've kind of doubled down on the whole Rome part. Hey, there you go. The Floridian War of Independence has now granted Florida independence, because that's what they called their colonial nation. Well done, Florida. Oh wait, was Canada also in that? I didn't actually see that. So we've got an independent Canada, and we also have an independent Florida. Why is it called Florida? Oh, just as Florida giveth, he also taketh, and now we have the United States with some very wacky borders, I gotta say. Yeah, so I just realized, looking at our dynasty and who is the same of us, we have both France and Scandinavia. Hungary doesn't count because I threw my dynasty on there, so don't worry about that. Yeah, but both France and Scandinavia are both the Roman dynasty, which is a little very funny, considering, you know, we used to be friends. Empress Adozero-lay-0-D. It's supposed to be Adelaide. I don't know why those are zeros. Yeah, but we got Emperor Olaf the First Roman and Empress Adelaide the Third Roman, and of course Emperor Andronicus the Fifth of Roman. I know. Probably could have thought of a better name, but yeah, we're Roman. Because, look, we still technically own Rome, so we are Rome, even though we've built a much better and bigger Rome in Germany. Another institution that has not spawned in us, it's spawned in Wales. Look at it. Look at that little chimney piping away as industry overtakes us, and soon we'll have the Amazon sweatshop warehouse. Yep, British capital's still over here in Ireland, but thankfully it is actually Irish culture now, which is a accepted culture for the British. Yeah, well done for them. Now, obviously, because we have industrialization, I think we'll be wrapping up here and going to Victoria 2 pretty soon. I do just want to clean up the borders with Croatia a little bit, but that'll be one more war, which I'm gonna have to wait for my truce to run up with. Oh, I just saw something flash up. Huh. Yeah, I was wondering if they had the ability to do that, but I guess after taking a bit more land, they definitely do. And the sad part about all of this is, yep, they are way above me in great power rank. Sadly, there's not a lot more land I could take. Not that there's really any land I want to take either. I think we're in a very good place for Rome, but now I thought I got rid of you. This part is, well, looking at this map right here, you notice Byzantium, but there's also the Seljuks have made one hell of a comeback too, and then we got Jerusalem there. This whole area just has not moved from CK3. Well, we were going to clean up Croatia, but they are guaranteed by the Byzantines, and that is a 2 million manpower war that I think would be better suited for another game. So this is exactly where we'll be leaving off for today. Actually not looking too bad at all. All the colonization is going. Only a couple nations actually breaking free, being Cuban Brazil, which is just Cuba. I don't know how that's going to translate. The US and Canada. Not too surprising, obviously. Now, both of my puppets, Hungary and the Netherlands, are also very rebellious, so I don't think we'll be holding on to them too long if Vicky do. Mostly down to the fact if either of them get great power, then they'll just automatically break free. And speaking of great powers, we are second in the world. Unfortunately for us, our old overlord and stomping grounds of the Byzantine Empire has rebirthed itself into existence. So once again, I'm gonna have to go over there and teach them why Rome was not built in a day. It was actually built over 1,000 years at this point. Or I should say, rebuilt over 1,000 years, but it also destroyed within a day. Not itself this time though, just other empires, and it's done it very proficiently. But this is us. We've been looking pretty good. I like where we're situated in the map. We don't really have anything overseas except obviously Rome, and I did get a small charter company down here, which I never did anything with. As usual in EU4, just kind of ended up with a whole bunch of political powers that we never use, so I did do a whole bunch of culture converting around, but the way it translates into Vicky 2 is it won't just straight up make this province Germanic. It will be a portion from the history. It doesn't matter, okay? It probably won't be fully German. Oh yeah, and when I say German, no, these are the Germans. We're not actually German, we're Roman, but it just says Germanic, which is in the Roman culture group. I already explained this before. But yeah, this is our beautiful Roman nation, about to go into probably one of the most turbulent times it's ever gonna go through. I don't know where we're gonna end up in Vicky 2, but I'm excited to do it. And we started off as the last Roman in the Greek Byzantine Empire, and we've reformed our Roman Empire over in Central Europe, Germany, and well, a few other little places here and there. And there are a few other nations around us with a lot of power. One that has recently sprung up being the Byzantine Empire, but we'll again deal with them later. We've also recently made an enemy with the French, who used to be our ally. The British Empire we've been fighting with since the start. Scandinavia we're actually very good friends with, and Chagatai, well, we were just trying to ignore them and hope they'd go away, and they have gone away, actually, by taking more of Asia. Oh yeah, there's also the Italians down there too, but they haven't been much of a bother. In fact, they've been quite friendly to me as well, so well done, Italy. Give yourself a pat on the shoe. Oh, someone took your boot. Sorry about that. And then over in the New World, I'm just very glad I didn't do any colonizing this game, because this is just all over the damn place. Oh, I guess technically I did do a bit of colonizing, but not through me. I actually have the Dutch as a puppet, so they did a bit of colonizing, and in turn I guess I got a bit of land from that. Hey, but before we get into anything and carry on our Roman journey, let's just say I have a quick little thank you to all the mod developers. Once again, you can get the links down below for all the converters to do your very own grand campaign. Oh, and also, Timmy, look at this limited edition poster right now on your screen of all of your favorite characters from grand campaigns past, available for you to order right now to stick on your wall and have to explain to family who that French guy is. But anyway, get that link down below. Thank you, supporting channel very much. Ends January. Let's get straight into this, shall we? So a handy and cool thing that I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned the last time I've done this, but with the converter now from EU4 to Vicky, you can actually go ahead and convert it into a HPM, which is a very popular mod for Vic 2 if you don't know what that is, and it essentially just adds a whole bunch of flavor and quality of life stuff that makes playing Vicky 2 just a whole lot better. Okay, so looking at our nation right now, we're doing pretty good. Our core populations are some weird German, I don't know what that says. I'm assuming some sort of Latin, German Latin, so we're German Romans, I guess. And then we also have South German and North German as accepted cultures, but we have a lot of cultures. Yeah, there is a lot in here. So South German, North German are the big ones, obviously, and then Polish, which is not a core population, and then whatever this thing is, I'm just going to call it Latin or Roman, which is 12%. And then we've got the Czecho-Romans, obviously, they came about. And we've got a few more other weird small ones that don't really matter too much, but we do have a lot of population to work with and get in those factories. Okay, so the Italians are immediately going to war with the Greeks, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get myself involved in that, mostly because I feel like I don't like it. There wasn't much to show there. In fact, we have quite the experience destroying Greeks, so yeah, they didn't last too long. All I got off them was war reparations, and they've already rebranded from the Byzantine to the Greek Empire, which is more fitting as Rome is safe over here. Oh my god, okay, I think Italy's just gonna keep calling me into stuff, aren't they? Okay, yeah, so the problem is they want to get Tunisia back off them, but I am not really willing to go help you with that too much. Do I have a navy? Did we ever get one of those? Oh yeah, I do. It's also conveniently right here. You know what, little Timmy? It didn't even matter about the navy because they had the French on their side, which means the legions are once again marching into Gaul. Yeah, this all started off very action-packed. My god, did I just get stabbed in the back by Scandinavia? What the hell for? Oh, they want Schleswig. I'm gonna have to go beat them up too. Where's that navy? Just go over there. Oh, in fact, the navy ain't even gonna make it over there. Someone's just dying. Just go chill in Rome, I guess. You know what? I can't do it too from war right now, and I do not want to mobilize this early into the game, so I'm just gonna give them Schleswig, okay? I don't even care. I will be back for it if I want it later. I just want to mostly focus on the French right now. See, because the big problem is, obviously, we've started pretty close from EU4, and there aren't exactly a lot of factories in the world to build all the goods we need to build an army. Yeah, so trying to get things like artillery, where the supply is 20 right now, and the demand is 92. I'm assuming because a lot more people are also building them, and I'm actually one of the few people actually here producing them too. Yeah, we're a little low on the war supplies. Although, once again, I was not ready to exactly be thrown right on into this. Oh no, I think I'm actually just gonna have to say no to you here. Who are you allied with? Okay, they're gonna call the Greeks in? I don't think they can. I'm going to war with Croatia too. Oh wait, Croatia's immediately white-pieced out. I guess, did I have a truce left over with them from... We must have had a truce left over with them from EU4 or something. Okay, we finally got the French down to a white piece, which is fine with me. Again, can I just have a little bit of peace to put all these factories down where I need them? Well, this is unexpected. I mean, we've been fighting all the past game and even before then, so... Sure, why not? Yeah, the Industrial Revolution never really took hold in EU4, so we're a little bit delayed on what's being built, and as you can see, not a lot is being built, as we have a hell of a lot of things we're missing, mostly machine parts right now, which, because there aren't really any on the market. Oh yeah, okay, the supply is 6, the demand is 3,445. So yeah, because there's no real factories building them either yet, we do have to wait for our artisans to build them, which is a pop in the game that does produce them, so you can never run out of machine tools. It's just very slow. Boys, we've done the unthinkable. We may or may not be looking over to Asia for a bit of Roman expansion. Yeah, Europe's in a bit of a chaotic place right now. There's nowhere for us to really expand to without more and more wars. So, I think Asia's gonna be our best bet. Polish revolt! Oh, I had no idea there was so many of you. Let's very quickly deal with this, shall we? Oh yeah, I guess we're carrying on the tradition of the AI just pondering and making their way down to Rome and sieging that down as well. How'd you even get here? Yeah, that got pretty dicey there because the French actually joined in on their side along with the Greeks, but because I just occupied all of them, I just annexed them outright, so it was not too much of a bother, bar the fact I did have to mobilize there, and it's making me realize I need to fix this army situation quickly, because I put off I've put off all army tech and building and rushed all of the education tech just so we can get our literacy up, as it is absolutely terrible. Okay, now that's cursed. The Americans have gone into this war, and obviously because they're an absolute monarchy empire thing, they're actually up against the Imperial Confederacy. The French declared war on me again, and if you can't tell, it didn't go too well for them. So if you can't tell, I think Scandinavia may have a glitched event that has given them just a little bit more prestige than intended. Quick reload, and that has sorted it. I gave them the benefit of the doubt on the 500 prestige, but I don't think that was garnered in legal manner, shall we say. See, this may actually look bad for the UK, but you've got to remember that their capital and government is safely secured in Ireland, which also literally has a population of 9,000. Okay, we've reached 1880, and it's kind of sad to say our country's in a state of normal Victoria 2 gameplay where it would be around 1860, maybe 50 if it's a really good game. Yeah, but the good news is a lot of people can read now, and it's going up quite a lot, and the industry has taken off. As for everyone else's industry, though, yep, no, not really, not at all. In fact, yeah, kind of terrible, but we are number one. Now, European colonization of Africa shall be kicking off, and we are actually going to partake a little bit here. So I'm going to go ahead and take out Sudan. Yeah, I obviously still have my little piece of Africa down here, which I did expand a bit because I didn't realize you could actually colonize a bunch of land from the start there. So, yep, that's on me, but my bad. And I'm also still rocking and rolling over here in Indonesia, and I'm making a good bit of progress, although the infamy cost was quite a lot, so we've got lucky a couple times, but yeah, we've got to take it very slowly here. Entered a period in Rome's history where I like to call it the turbulent socialist never-ending revolts. Yep, rolls off the tongue that easy. It seems no matter how many of them I shoot in the face, more just appear. But obviously, what would this playthrough be so far if there was any sort of stability for Rome? It seems like everything in all these games wants me to fail. A little update on our great power list. We got me at the top, Scandinavia, Greeks, the Kingdom of America, Hungary, Cuba, Orissa, and Ceylon. So 2 Indian great powers already. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the British this game, but they're doing so badly. I get the feeling it may have something to do with the island situation. But yeah, they just can't seem to get their foot in the right place. Same with the French, actually. Although they did go through many periods of just declaring war on me, so they kind of deserve it. Downside of teaching everyone to read and whatnot is that then they get these silly ideals that they go out into the street on and shoot me with. So, in order to avoid all of the unnecessary shooting, I have been liberalizing a little bit. I've landed voting and gerrymandering, and we also got rid of slavery and serfdom. So are we really even Rome anymore? If you thought the Chagatai were being very quiet this game, probably for good reason, because they're falling apart. Okay, our first war of aggression on the continent in... Have we actually declared war on anyone in Europe? I don't know if we have. Most certainly had plenty of people declare on us, but this might be our first actual war of aggression, and it's to clean up the border gore with Croatia. I mean, it ain't exactly pretty, but it's getting better. Oh, I built the Titanic, and I probably should have assumed, considering I am the Roman Empire, it was definitely going to sink. So that's 25 prestige lost somewhere around here. It's a very weird game. I won't lie, the Western powers are probably the weakest part here. Just look at our great powers right now. We got Rome, Scandinavia, Hungary, who has Britain in their sphere. We got ourselves the Greek Empire, Cuba, America, Orissa, and then India. India did form, by the way. And everyone's industries are starting to kick up now, so I'm going to try to leave it as long as I can, just so everyone's as powerful as they can be for Hoi 4. Yeah, only bad thing is I don't really think we're going to getting a great war going. Not with these great powers, at least. It's going to be very hard for that to happen. The sad thing is the Chagatai just have not had the chance to actually get anything going. They've been getting completely beaten to the ground, and they've actually come to uncivilized now, or people just chip away at them. Not exactly going to be what I would call a great war, but I'm going to war to see if I can just kick them out of that stupid Irish capital they've got. I was justifying on the UK to see what would happen if I liberated them from that stupid capital, and all that happens is I immediately get white pieced out, so I guess we're not doing that. But I got the war goal anyway, so may as well use it. Oh, and that brought in England, France, and Hungary. That is going to be our Great War. Now, sadly, it's not actually Great War, because they don't have another great power on their side, so yeah, we're just gonna pretend. It's kind of funny that their only great power on their side is one that was quite literally birthed from me. Once again, I am the most successful part of all of these nations, although I guess in a way it is kind of fitting that our Great War is against myself. Now that's a truly Roman way to go about things. Uh-oh, so they've actually managed to get an alliance with the Italians and called them in, and for the first time in a long time, Rome has actually been sieged down. I mean, it's not the first time it's been sieged down, but it's certainly left a mark on there, I think. Also managed to get ourselves a foothold in the UK with our Grand Navy, which we have finally got. Just don't look at it too in depth. Look at the cool dreadnoughts and battleships and ironclads and cruisers. Ironclads? No, there's none of those. The only problem is trying to actually see where I've sieged down in the UK, as we're pretty much the same colour. The horrible thing is I'm getting all these free war goals now to dismantle people, and I just, it's bringing something out of me that we haven't done in a while. I mean, after all, why shouldn't I burn all these false pretenders of Rome to the ground? And if my name was Roman, and I was a Roman, that's exactly what I would do. The mighty British capital of Rexford in Ireland with 8,000 people and fish will burn. That's one of them gone, and another one, and lastly the Hungarians. Long live Rome! So this dismantling went a little weird. First off, Italy and Hungary, I don't think they even got dismantled. I guess they did have nothing to dismantle, looking at them. But the UK is split between three countries. You have England, what used to be Great Britain, but then the UK or Great Britain got released over in England. England is free in Ireland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and a bit of Scotland. I've made it worse. Actually, I didn't make it too worse, though, because their capital is now at least on the right island. She looked away from the UK just a second ago, looked back, and, yeah, they're changing it up a bit. They're also currently just immediately getting sieged back down by the communists. I guess it's going to be a bit of a turbulent time for the Isles. wouldn't be a good old Rome playthrough if Rome again wasn't getting sacked, this time by my arch nemesis of this playthrough, the militant socialist. Okay, Timothy's, I think we have reached the end of our Victoria 2 part. Now, there are a few wars still going on around, but we're not really going to worry too much about that. Yeah, because we kind of had our Great War there with France, the UK, and Hungary, which has left the UK under a dictatorship. France in a dictatorship. Italy in a dictatorship. Okay, what about you, Hungary? You're also in a dictatorship. Kinda got the feeling I may have a target on my back. Well, before I go ahead and convert this, I probably will let it run out just a little bit longer, just so everyone's industries are as high as they can for the conversion. Just so it's a bit more of a challenge, a bit more fun. But yeah, these are the final stands and how everyone did. As you can see, no one compares at all to me in the slightest, especially in the industry regard. But yeah, it's me, Greece, the two Indian states, which is actually kind of funny, Scandinavia, Cuba, America, and then the Netherlands. So I don't even know how this is going to play out in Hoi 4. I really do not know. Hey, but if you've been enjoying the mega campaign so far, make sure that you leave a like and a subscribe down below. And if you want to support the channel, you could also get the merch linked in the description. Who wouldn't want a poster? It's Pepe, look at him. Wow. But anyway, it's time to move on to our final game, Heart of Iron 4. Oh, it seems those genes 1,000 years later have come back. So here we are in Europe with senatorial Rome is sitting forefront in the middle of Europe. And yes, we are senatorial Rome because we did liberalize quite a lot to keep all those militant socialists down in Vicky 2. Something that a little plucky king/emperor isn't too happy about. Now, I did say that I was going to continue on past Vicky 2 a little bit, just so everyone got built up enough, and they did get built up enough, but also there was another world war. Now, the world war in question was, I think, I don't think, it was like Andalusia on one side with Orissa and Cuba, and it was me, USA, and someone else. It wasn't really that impressive. I think Leon, probably. But either way, Andalusia and Cuba both got dismantled, which means, yep, Cuba is now back in Cuba. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot that Cuba was actually an English colony all those years ago. So, Trevor Godwin, our very own USA tale in this story. The Cuban Revolution means something very different. Well, the Cubans have finally been exiled back to Cuba. Brazil is free, and, yep, unsurprisingly, they are also English. The Redwoodian people, led by Graham Rabin, the leader of Brazil. But of course, Andalusia and Cuba both had loads of land in Africa, and when they got dismantled, I got the option to take a bunch, so that's why we have all of West Africa now. Sorry I didn't show that, but the war, either way, wasn't too interesting lore-wise. But we now also have our Roman Western African puppet led by that guy. Now, in our empire, as it currently stands, we are also in a faction with the same people we were allied with in that Great War. So I guess India and the Dutch and also Ukraine were in that. I can't really remember all my alliances at the end of the game, but I guess this is it. Yeah, now also, said faction is also at war with Scandinavia, as Ukraine and them are going at it to get a bit of land back. We have not been called in, but I imagine we will be, so we're starting it off with a bang. But like I said, I think we gave up way too much power in Vicky 2, and the Senate is looking a bit weak, in my opinion. So India did just immediately leave my faction, which isn't too surprising, as I do have my own Indian puppet as well, something I completely forgot to mention. I had them over here in the Andaman Islands, and then when I was at war with Orissa, because they were on the other side of the Great War, I released a whole bunch of their core land back to my puppet, who conveniently also have cores all over India. So we'll get to that. Yeah, but I guess it does make sense why India doesn't exactly want to be my friend, considering I'm kind of competing with them over there. Okay, so I've decided to go ahead and join the Ukrainians in their war against Scandinavia, as their power really isn't quite what it used to be, and thus it is ripe for the picking. Oh, and meanwhile, while we are rushing down Scandinavia, the US is also at war with the Californian Republic, and I'm assuming Oregon too, but they are, I think they just disappeared off the map. Okay, the Scandinavians have capitulated, but not without great cost. Our World War I tactics, or if you can even call them that, because I don't feel like we really had too much of a grand-scale war like this, were definitely showing to be obsolete. Either way, victory was had for us, so we're gonna go ahead and carve up Scandinavia. There we go, a favorable peace between us all, and that is a gigantic Ukraine. But we did go ahead and take over Denmark, Gotland, the Ireland Islands, a few of the leftover colonies, and that is just about it. I don't think Scandinavia will be bothering us again anytime soon. But as you can definitely tell from our wonderful cohorts here, things didn't exactly go too great in that war, so we're gonna reform the army a bit here in Rome. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and help our allies out in the Americas too, because, you know, they are our friends, so we need to give them a little helping hand, because they suck. Okay, not difficult at all, and I also just realized there's 439 oil in California. It's so tempting to take it myself. As tempting as it was, though, we had to resist. But there you go, you got yourself a USA. A Mexican USA. Okay, now whilst the Latin bloc did do very well, we are gonna go ahead and make a few adjustments. Alright, now that is the world finally at peace in 1937, but I'm sure something will kick off somewhere, most likely in the Senate, because I'm trying to get rid of them. Oh, and I spoke too soon. The Byzantines are now at war with the Seljuks. We've truly returned to tradition, huh? Oh, and there goes Britain declaring war back on Scotland, which is a little interesting considering... Why is he still called Oswald? Another curse thing too is that England still exists and they're communists just hanging out on the Isle of Man. They did go ahead and get kicked out of Ireland too, I forgot about that. But after a bunch of squabbling in the Senate, we have decided to knock on the door and burn it to the ground. Hey, just a little bit, you know, just bring it back to where it all began. And in doing so, we have made our allies very angry, and they are starting to leave us, looking at you, the Dutch, but I think we've never been happier. Why is he staring at us like that? Oh yeah, people are not happy with us, huh? Okay, so with our navy, we did start with quite the massive one with a ton of battleships from where we left off, but I am going to refit them all into something a bit better, as the current design is a little empty. And then I think all we need to worry about later on is maybe getting some screens, considering we started with none, and these were 5 I made earlier. Yeah, but maintaining a large fleet is definitely going to help us out a lot, considering we have a lot around the globe to protect, especially if we end up going to war over here in India. Oh, very interestingly, I completely forgot about the Chagatai in the room, but they've declared war on Korea and Japan. And I could go ahead and invite them to our faction, but I don't think I want to help this guy out. One thing I'd like to get sorted out is Italy. I didn't mind too much Italy being independent with our Roman core down here. We still own Rome, by the way. Yeah, I didn't mind them being independent when they were a normal nation, but yeah, they may have done a little flippity-flip in Vicky 2, and Carlo Garibaldi is not who I want in charge down there. Oh, India declared war on the Kamchadals. Okay, you know, we had a few easy alliances with the Byzantines when they reformed, but I'm I'm not a big fan of what they're laying down at the moment. Definitely wasn't expecting that one, America. I'm not even entirely sure how they're gonna go about doing that. But more power to you, I guess. Alright though, more importantly though, we are gonna secure our borders against the communist coup down here. No problem at all. Now, we're not interested in taking any of the land down there really, so we're just simply putting in a more favorable government. You know, we've left Italy for a reason. Now, whilst the Byzantines are still busy trying to deal with the Seljuks down there, we're gonna go ahead and make the most of it and finally getting rid of Croatia off of the map, which I don't think is really gonna be too much of a bother, because when has a long-standing conflict and land grab in the Balkans ever started any sort of large repercussional wars? Okay, so Orissa is also looking to expand their land a bit, which means after this it might be time to go have a little look over there. Yay, in we go. Hey, not bad at all. And also puts us right on the border with... Okay, that's not looking good. Oh, and the Hungarians are going in on the Romanians. I don't actually know who's going to win this. We're pretty similar strengths, but yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much of a hat in this one, I'll be real with you. Both of them aren't exactly preferable. Oh, well, unless they slowed down, it looks like Hungary's definitely going to be the one to take all the land here. And okay, things are kicking off in India, and they've declared war on Kachin. Interestingly enough, they are absolutists too, so if we could go ahead and get them in our faction, if the tension gets high enough, we could get a war with Orissa, which we can't get a war with right now because they're guaranteed by just a lot of people, so I'm not really risking some global conflict over this at the moment. Oh boy, and it is not looking too good over here in the British Isles. Well, there goes the British. Big Scotland. Can't really complain about that one though. The Roman dynasty of Scotland, I'm sure, is back in power, and Mr. Scone himself is nope, that's David Kelly. Oh, and little communist England is no longer little communist England. Okay, well, I guess everyone just hates India this game. How exactly are you gonna do this? None of you can get access. And we might actually see the end of the Seljuks here, because Jerusalem has just declared on the Byzantines, which, well... the hell is that? Okay, well, if the Byzantines win, they can finally walk down to the Seljuks over here, or if Jerusalem wins, I guess Jerusalem, they'll get to slap this guy's bald head. Hey, well, now it's certainly kicking off. Russia, who I completely forgot even a thing, have also just gone in on the Chagatai, who have... Oh, okay, they got rid of their cool-looking Mongolian leader for this nerd. Well, I gotta say, that flag, in a way, it does kind of slap. And because when they're getting pummeled from the east by Japan, I think this could finally be the end of the Chagatai, although they did give it a real good shot. Okay, I'm not too sure about this one. France is going in on the Netherlands. Leon is going in on Grenada, which, well done, reconquista in 1941. But French, expanding into the Netherlands, I'm not entirely sure about that. And the Dutch do have tons of colonies all over the place as well, which is a little bit concerning. Oh, and there goes Romania. We now have a large Hungary with a Finnish man in charge that's not very friendly government. Oh yeah, okay, and in their focus tree as well, they also get a war goal on me, so I should probably keep an eye out on the Hungarians. Oh, and yep, that's one of my fears right there. The Byzantines just got even larger. Now, what's interesting is the Dutch are easily holding their own against the French right now. Very easily so. Oh, and factions are starting to form in the world. Ukraine is now in the South American coalition with the Dutch and America and Honduras. Oh yeah, don't forget Tunis in there too. You never want to forget them. Okay, I think what I need to do is a bit of a preemptive strike on the Hungarians. I'm really not liking the fact that they're guaranteed by Orissa though, although that is one interesting way to get at war with them. Now, also I should probably keep my borders secure with this ongoing conflict. I also need to worry about the giant Byzantine Empire with like 200 divisions on my border. Oh God, they're gonna get even larger. Oh no. Oh yeah, France is just getting absolutely rolled. I don't think they were expecting for backup to arrive this hard. Alright, now let's see what our revamped army can do against Hungary and Orissa. Oh, and that ended way sooner than I thought it would. I just sieged down Budapest and they capitulated. But once more as they were before, the Hungarians are now safely under my control as a puppet government. Yeah, also France just got beat up so hard that they spat out Euskadi. Yeah, it looks like they also just lost all of their colonies too, so French Australia is fighting on in their honor on their own. Okay, now the war over here in India didn't really go too far. I had to wait till I was done with the CAS over in Europe, but now that it is no longer needed over there, I think we should be able to make a push here. Okay, nice. Now the CAS is just absolutely shredding them, so those red bubbles don't mean anything at all. We are pushing very nicely. I also love the fact that my puppet, the Raj, has a tank division out before even I do. There we go. Very, very nice. Now the question is whether or not we go in on India now, or we just willingly let the Byzantines get away with taking it all, which I definitely don't want. We do have another faction in the world though. We got the European group with the Byzantines and the Japanese and the Scandinavians. How did they sneak on in there? And then obviously we got the South American coalition, which funnily enough isn't in South America. Well, since everybody else is at war with India, might as well get myself a slice too. Yep, literally as they just capitulated, they made a faction with so many people. So yeah, Leo just, why would you join this faction, right? All we needed to do was capitulate India, which means Leo just died for no reason. Alright, now we have another border with the Byzantines. Well, actually another border, because I also gave them the Leon colonies over here, just because I didn't even call my allies in, because I wasn't expecting a big alliance to form. Oh, it's all not going great. They finally beat the Chagatai, and they actually just gave it all to Russia. We have Russia. Albeit, I imagine, probably one of the weakest Russias you've ever seen. Oh, they got a few factories. Not a lot of troops though. Yeah, more importantly, what has happened in Europe is, you know, those two alliances I was talking about, the South American coalition and European group, well, they're at war with each other. So World War has broken out. Alright, now I don't want to be hedging bets already, but the European group is absolutely disgustingly large, so I think they may have the better shout here, but you never know. They could pull it back. Well, if there's anyone I'm going into a global spanning conflict against, it would be no fitting than to be the Byzantines. Alright, now, as this is a very personal feud between the Emperor and the Byzantines himself, he will be leading the charge as our Field Marshal today. Again, this is going to be a very, very large war. In fact, I'm also going to have to go back into Scandinavia. It seems over the past 1,000 years, I've had to swap this Byzantine fly too many times. But this one will most certainly be the last. Oh, Leon? Yeah, sure. I don't really, have many friends, so yeah, get in. I wonder if there's any joyous choir down here in southern Greece as the Greco-Romans have finally been liberated back into Roman rule. Okay, we have broken across in Anatolia, and I am not seeing any Byzantine troops to even stop me. They seem to be all held up over here in the Raj, which is fine with me. Oh yeah, I think a lot of them could be stuck over here in Russia too. I think they're they got that glitch where they're fighting the AI in their own provinces, so it's not my problem. Oh, and just like that, didn't really put up too much of a fight, I won't lie, but again, I think they did have the little glitch with their unit stuck in Russia, which, yeah, ain't my problem. I win, and look how nice it is to see that name across there. Okay, now they haven't called Russia in, and I do still have a non-aggression pact with them that they could cancel and kind of ruin everything going on here, but I'm just gonna quickly try and rush down Japan now and end the war. I ain't gonna lie, Japan don't have much in the way of a navy. They did not come out of Vicky 2 very strong, so we should have no problem landing in them whatsoever. Okay, well that's spectacular. Our first landing has gone off completely unopposed. Question is our main landing here gonna work, or are we gonna get intercepted, or they're gonna actually garrison their port? Oh, they're garrisoning it. They're also just garrisoning it, but they're landing at the same time I am. To be fair, it's just about as competent as the Japanese AI is in a base game, Hoi4, I'll be real with you. And there they go. That is one enemy truly gone forever. You know what, Leon? Because you finally gone ahead and actually gone about getting all of Iberia, I'm gonna go make sure you get your colonies back in Africa. Okay, so here's the world after that absolutely ginormous war with everyone involved. I gave a lot of the stuff to the Raj just because I don't know what else to do with it. And we have liberated the Greco-Romans finally back into our kingdom. If Hellas was still a thing, I would happily go ahead and release them back into the world, but they have long since died. And then we've kept the rest of the Byzantine Empire as a puppet under close, very close supervision. Now, as for the rest of the factions in the world, the European group is still alive along with the South American coalition, but I don't think they're going to be around for too much longer. And it's nice to see after all of those years we finally rekindled our alliance with the French, who all it took for that was to lose 2 wars to the Dutch. And they've come crawling back. You see, once upon a time the Dutch were one of my most loyal and valued friends, mostly because they were under a puppet regime and couldn't be anything but what I told them to be. But at some point they grew a bit too big for their boots, gained independence, and now they have a global spanning empire and massive alliance system, which I'm not too happy about. So why don't I go ahead and reintroduce a bit of Roman rule? Alright, I do just want to preface, I have no idea if I actually need to go ahead and take the USA out in this war, so we're about to find out. There you go, there goes the Dutch, and who else do I need to take out? Honduras. Really? Oh, more importantly, I gotta worry about getting over to the US at some point. I do own Greenland, so maybe we could use that as a base of operations. So Ukrainians did want to join on their own accord, I'll be doing that for them. Ukraine's also objectively the strongest nation we've actually fought so far, considering all the Byzantine troops weren't actually anywhere in their empire. Okay, we're also gonna do France a little favor and do this. There goes Ukraine, and also here comes Scotland. Oh, I was ever wondering if the British Isles would ever amount to much over here, and it seems what they've amounted to is their own destruction, as once again Roman sandals have landed on the shores of Britannia. A weapon has been discovered. Yeah, let's just say I'm loosening the Americans up a little bit. I love the fact that I'm doing it from Greenland. Look at the range on these bombers, huh? I do feel bad about invading the US because they are led by the coolest guy I've ever seen in Hoi4. Okay, well, there was literally nothing stopping me and that landing. Yeah, I think the American troops are spread pretty thin across the world, honestly. I don't even know how much they've got left in the homeland, but it ain't enough to stop me. Alright, after countless nuclear bombs, it is finally about to all be over because Honduras, for whatever reason, was counted as a great power. I don't even know where to begin with this, I'll be real. You know what, Scandinavia, I'm gonna give you some land back, even though I was the one who took it in the first place. And there you go. The world has finally been brought under full Roman control. Now, you'd think hanging out in Mexico and getting yourself a nice holiday destination might have cheered him up a bit, but he's still, got that luck. Hey, but there you go. Look at that. Everything but the European group, which is just Russia, by the looks of things, is now under complete Roman sphere. And I guess the Brazilians too, but yeah, I don't see much of a fight left for these guys, even though they are already a war my faction. But from our tiny little start down here in southern Greece, we have expanded to own a complete world, like a complete complete world. Everyone is either my puppet that's a great power, or they've been annexed completely. And yet this man just can't stop thinking about taking more land. Somebody really needs to go ahead and potentially take him out, just like 12 of his ancestors. But that was our grand campaign of 2023, coming to a magnificent and very explosive end for some people. And if you enjoyed it and you want to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, feel free to do so. This may not be the complete end of this world though, as I think we will be doing a Redux campaign. If you don't know what that is, I won't spoil it for you, but keep an eye out for another video before the year ends. But yes, thank you to everyone that has watched this year's mega campaign, and if you want to support the channel, leave a like and subscribe button down below. Get yourself the poster. It will be available until January, so click that link down below. And also, if you want to do your own grand campaign, the links to the converters are all in the description too. But yes, until next year, little Timothy's, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Roman the Roman, who just can't ever seem to smile. I think we've made a giant mistake making him this powerful.